welcome to episode number 3 of The Breath of Silence. My name is Needsmore Dragons. I am joined by my cast of merry misfits. Tonight we're going to continue our story. Last week we left off with the group making it to the small town of Luri in search of information on the whereabouts of some bandits or bad guys that were stealing ale from Grizzly, who is the innkeeper or the barkeeper or the owner of the Stormstout Tavern in, oh my god, I totally lost my train of thought there. What? Oh, Aureus, thank you. There we go, brain. Damn, it's been 2 weeks, right guys? Fuck.
It's your city.
It is my city, and couldn't even remember the name of it. Jesus. So you guys had followed up on your way to Luri. You were attacked by a band of bandits. You were able to dispatch them accordingly. You made it into the town of Luri. You hitched up your horses at the finest stables in all the land, at least on this side of the Eurasian Mountains, the Purple Parakeet. The druid giving the old gnome the once over, the twice over, and the thrice over, making sure there was going to be no funny business. Made your way to the Silver Leaf Brewhouse, where you met the owner, Philip, who kind of hinted that there was something going on there without really saying too much. And then the bloodbath ensued. You sought out and basically murdered a whole bunch of low-level Bloodforge syndicates that were holed up in the tavern or brewhouse, using it to kind of push or strengthen their position within the small town, and using his money and his wares and his ale to basically do their bidding. You were able to, through a very lucky perception check, able to catch an informant named Teddy, and drug him back inside for a nice little interrogation before Merrick chewed his throat out. You also gained a ring of invisibility from that encounter, and then you further spoke with Philip some more about the ins and outs of what had been going on, what the Bloodforge Syndicate were doing in his place, and where you might find Elroy, who is the gentleman or gentle lady or gender nonconforming person who is supposedly the head of the Bloodforge Syndicate in the city of Aureus. So, we left off last time with Joria and Merrick in the kitchen still, preparing a meal to celebrate your victory. I do believe Sabros and Philip were at the bar pounding some ales as we speak.
Yep.
And a lot of you, I'm not sure what else you guys were doing, but we will go ahead and open the game up with that set, or with that setting there. So let's go ahead and flip back to the bar here. And here we are for the evening. Guys, take it away. You were at the silver.
Did I roll for delicious food?
You did. I believe you rolled last week, and I think you rolled like a 16 or 17 or something like that. So
Yes.
it was a good meal. You've prepared it well.
Alright, I'll take the food out.
Okay, easy enough. Tables abound. It's kind of late in the evening now, so there's not very much going on, except for the nice fire and the bar wenches kind of cleaning up and giving you kind of evil eyes because they've got extra cleaning to do tonight.
Can you say that again?
But they are thankful for you taking care of their problem.
It's just job security. You gotta mop up all that blood.
You see, as one of the shorter, kind of more stout bar wenches comes by and she grabs a couple of rags off the thing, she kind of looks at you and you say that, she gives you a little huff and goes off into the swings the doors open, and you can hear her grumbling as she goes through into the kitchen.
You're gonna need more rags than that.
Who asked you?
I'm gonna bumble through the door and plop down the, I think it was a roast I said I made
Mm-hmm.
on the bar. Food's done.
Sidling up to the bar.
Philip reaches out and grabs a handful and just pulls it over onto his plate and just sits there and just starts shoveling it in his mouth. Kind of half drunk already, sitting next to Sabros, who's pretty much been drinking him under the table at this point. It looks
Philip,
like he
what's your
hasn't been
status?
able to partake of his stuff much lately. He's a little behind the curve on the tolerance.
Kind of go over next to Philip. Are you mad at us?
No, I'm not mad. I'm just thankful. Thankful that you showed up, and it's a little messy back there. A little unorthodox the way you guys handled it, but there's no more Bloodforge Syndicate running my tavern. I can finally go back to the way it used to be, and maybe I don't have to worry about my family getting murdered now.
Yeah, about that. Do you think they're gonna come back?
Well, I would probably say when they stop getting their collections of money and ale and other various things that they were stealing from me in a few weeks, they'll probably send some more low-level lackeys down here to figure out what happened.
Are you gonna be okay if we leave?
Well, I had hoped that you were gonna maybe go take care of the problem, as it kind of seemed like it was in your interest to find out what was going on with the ale shipments for Grizzly.
Well, of course.
But
Speaking of which.
I should be fine. I should be fine. I feel like now I could probably talk a little more openly to the city guard. So if I end up having a problem, I could probably get some help now.
Good. And speaking of which,
Mhm.
where should we go to find these guys? Have they ever told you?
They
Anything?
never specifically spoke to me about where they are located or where their headquarters is. And he was kind of within earshot of you guys well, he was in the room when you were interrogating poor Teddy.
Yeah, did we get a direct location before we murderized that guy?
You didn't get a direct location, but you got a district to go look in. The Slighted Dive within the city of Aureus is the district in which he said that you could find the headquarters for the Bloodforge Syndicate. But he told you that typically his job was to go to the gate and tell somebody, and then that somebody would tell somebody, and it's kind of like you're in a crowded thing, somebody takes a wallet and they pass it off to 6 different people, and you don't know who the hell has the wallet, kind of thing.
Alright, so we have to cut down like 6 people.
Yeah. We got a password, didn't we?
You got a what? I'm sorry.
We got like a password, or like someone that we say front of.
So the someone that he talked about was the guy who runs, well, that he knows that runs the syndicate, which was Elroy.
Yeah, but there was one thing that some information that someone got that was like, tell them something sent you, or in the name of whoever.
It
It was
probably
like a passphrase.
Gotcha. It probably would have been. You know what? I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, it's not ringing a bell here either.
That doesn't ring a bell.
I know it was made up on the spot because someone made a really good
A good
check
ball.
when we were interrogating, I think.
Okay. Well, then I will just go ahead and just homebrew rule it that the the phrase is "what comes in the night." That would be the
Maybe it was Matt.
perhaps. So just write this down. What comes in the night? It makes sense for what I'm doing, anyways. So your basic understanding is that the bad guys are holed up somewhere within the slighted way.
Before we do leave, Philip, have you heard tell of any Bloodforged lackeys at the other bar that's in town?
I don't get around town a ton. I'm really busy here most of the time. I mean, it's possible that they could be anywhere in town, but for the most part, my establishment being the largest one, most of them would have been held up here, or at least passing
Alright.
through here.
Just making sure they don't retaliate before you can get the guards set up.
Well, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. I will at first light tomorrow. I'm going to go down to the Justice House and have a chat with the local guard. And the Justice House is Lurie's basically jailhouse, or you know, Justice Commons or whatever you want to call it. So it's pushing midnight at this point. The food has been brought. You guys have had a chance to eat. Everybody's kind of winding down for the night. Are there any other questions or things that you would like to ask? It kind of looks like he's getting ready to take his leave for the evening and retire to his quarters.
We
Guess
did
we're headed back to
secure.
Orius, huh?
We should probably leave right in the morning.
All right.
All right. We do secure more barrels for the other one, right?
You secured more barrels for the what?
For the tavern.
Oh, yes. Basically, whenever you removed the syndicate from his place, he told you could basically have whatever you needed within reason. So if you need barrels of ale, you're welcome to take barrels of ale. He's not going to stop you.
We do have empty barrels that we could take back to our good friend. Filled.
Yep, I can have that done for you. They'll be ready to go by morning. Just stop back by here. The door right outside the kitchen there. Just stop right there, and I'll have them placed right there for you. I'll send you 2 of each kind that I have. So you'll have 6 barrels total.
Thank you much. Are our empty barrels in the caravan store at the stable?
They're currently at the stables, yes.
All right. I mean, I guess we could just swap them out.
You could definitely do that. That would be pretty easy to do.
Well, I guess I'm good. Probably head to bed.
Okay.
I'll finish my drink and do the same.
Okay. Merrick, are you heading to bed?
Yeah, I will. I'll just chew on an arm for a while
Okay.
until I
Little
settle
bender tonight.
down.
Okay. Merrick, as you get towards sleep, you're just kind of resting there after gnawing on your tasty victuals, kind of contemplating the day and all these crazy chaps that you've come in contact with and how their ways are so much different than your own. And as you're kind of drifting off to sleep, your vision kind of gets pulled from your body and you just kind of feel like you're floating through the air. And then it snaps through some clouds and over a mountain, and it's almost like you're in this like rapid transport through the air, right? And all of a sudden, you're standing on a road right outside your village from where you're from, or town. And it's almost like you're looking through something that like makes your vision kind of blurry, because you can't see super definition of anything. You just kind of see more or less shapes and outlines and stuff like that. But as you're looking, you see what appears to be smoke coming from what used to be your village, right? And you see a figure standing at the side of the road, probably 6.5 feet tall, 6 feet tall, very slender, wearing long robes and holding a staff. And you can't really discern too much detail about the staff or the robes, but you can definitely tell that it is a very prominent figure. The figure is standing over something laying at the side of the road. It's another body, and you recognize very quickly the garments that the body is wearing. They are your garments. And you see the person with the staff tap their staff on the ground as they kneel down next to you, and in an instant, poof, you both disappear, and you flash back into your brain and sit straight up in bed.
Well, I just learned that I died today.
Anything else anybody would like to do this evening? Alright.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay, so morning comes. You smell the smells of bacon and different meats and coffees and things just come floating up the stairwell to your rooms and greet you as the dawn crests through your windows, and you all wake up fully rested. If you have used or expended any spell slots last week or lost any hit points, please return those. And you also feel extremely energized and revitalized, kind of like you leveled up. So, the day is young, it is bright and early, it is just before dawn as dawn is cresting. The day is yours.
Just stand by the door, waiting for everybody to roll up into the tavern common area.
At the end of this rest, I'm going to use my Blessing of the Forge to magicalize my chainmail, and then I'll head outside up front of the inn, or alery, whatever it is.
Okay.
So you ready to go?
Sure
After I
am.
have some bacon, yes.
The bar wench from last night that had given Gwyneth the evil eye as she went back to the back with her rags has a nice clean rag kind of laid out on the bar, and she sees Sabros just kind of shoveling bacon and things into his mouth, and she kind of looks at you and she winks and she goes to the kitchen and she comes back with a whole like double fistful of bacon.
Oh,
And she lays it on the towel, and she rolls it up and then ties it in a knot and then hands it to you.
can I propose to her right now?
Roll for sexual tension.
That would be a natural 1.
Oh.
Plus athletics modifier?
Wink, wink, wink.
Just flex on her.
Wink. She just laughs and turns around and walks back into the kitchen. So, you see Dobrum come stumbling down the stairs with his nose kind of leading him forward. Just be like, aye, what is, aye, what is that? And I will give you control of your character, sir. If you can hear me.
I don't think he's in here. Unless you're broadcasting roll 20.
Getting
Oh, I can see he's not in,
it was a
Sword.
great setup.
it was a great setup. I tried, you know what, I gave it to the people and then I brought it back. I brought it back.
It was good.
It's all good. So, Dobrum is grabbing the last bits of food for himself and then heading out the door.
I'm gonna go get the horses. Just go.
I'm gonna go with weapons. Or Joria.
Okay, so you guys are going to go to the Purple Parakeet and see Gregory?
Yep.
All right. I like Gregory.
Hmm.
All right, so you guys spend the next, 5 or 6 minutes walking over to the Purple Parakeet. It was a little bit east of where you were. Different townsfolk walking, getting their carts ready for the day. People opening up their shops, sweeping their porches and things like that. It's just a bustling little town on a late winter's morning. It's there's a very nice chill in the air. It's not, super frigid, but it's decently chilly. You can see your breath as you're walking, and the sun now coming up to kind of like the northeast of where you guys are. You see it coming over the mountains, and it's just a very pretty, the pinks and the blues and the oranges are all kind of shining in the sky with a little bit of cloud cover as it kind of skips past. So you make your way to the Purple Parakeet, and standing closer near the front is Gregory, and he's got like a broom in his hand, and he's kind of cleaning out the little front area where he has his little desk and whatnot. And he looks
Good
up.
morning.
Oh, you startled me. Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. Can we
Good.
go to horses?
He paid for 2 days. So we're going to use 1 day? Oh, okay. Do you want a refund? Or do you want me to hang on to it for the next time?
Keep it as credit.
I can do that. Alright, let me, flick and flack, right? Flip and flack. Flack and flip.
Freaking track.
Frickin' flack here.
Yes.
Okay, I'll be right back.
You can have like a horse name registry here. I mean, what's going on?
Calm down. I know which ones are yours.
And you see him turn around and he kind of waddles off to the back. A couple of minutes goes by and you hear him kind of shuffling around, a couple of curse words, and then you see him coming back and he's got the reins up over his head and he's like
Yeah. Here you go. Here's this one. Here's this one. See, I told you I'd take good care of them. Lots of food, plenty of water, and they're all shiny and clean. We brush them out. Perfect. Purple Parakeet. With a stamp.
can't hear you.
Well,
Sorry.
I will be sure to spread the renown of the Purple Parakeet, best stables this side of the mountains, to anyone who needs it. I appreciate your services.
You see his little rosy cheeks just get even more rosier, and he's
Well, I appreciate that very much. What was your name?
I would be Sabros.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. I can't wait to see you come back to town.
I give him
You give him a what? I'm sorry.
a piece of bacon from my napkin.
He grabs a piece of bacon and he looks at it and he goes,
Nobody's ever brought me breakfast before. I like you. Thanks.
and he goes,
I'm gonna pat him on the head and then hop on one of the horses.
he goes,
Your cart is just around the corner. If you take a horse ride, you can hook it up. You can be on your way. All right, have a good day.
and he goes waddles back inside and he starts sweeping out his little area again. And you see the other gnomes doing various little jobs, and you can hear them, chittering back and forth in gnomish. You don't have any idea what the hell they're saying, but it's pretty comical to watch these guys go back and forth. It's almost like watching the Three Stooges. One of them sweeping and the other one kind of steps in his way and he kind of smacks him upside the head. It's pretty comical.
I guess I'm gonna go out back wherever the barrels are and offer to help load those up when the guys get back.
Okay. The Three Stooges meets the Lollipop Guild. I love it. Alright, so it's easy enough. You guys take the horses with the cart back to the Silver Leaf Brew House. The 6 barrels are waiting for you out back. Each barrel, each different type has a different symbol, kind of like brazed into the front of it, or branded into the front of it, so that you can tell which ones are which. They are quite heavy, so as long as you have more than one person helping you, it should be fine. So, you guys are all loaded up. Everything seems to be ready to go. Where would you guys like to traverse?
Orius, of course.
Alright. Easy enough. It
Glorious,
is-
oh yeah.
Oh yay! So it is about 2 days back to Orius as it was about 2 days to Lurie. So, just for the sake of knowing, where's everybody at within the cart and things, and I need whoever wants to do the perception checks for the first day, let me know, and I will have you roll 3 of them, one for the morning, one for noon, and one for the evening.
I'm riding on top of Freck.
Okay, you're on Frack, okay?
I will assume the sentry position.
I will be in the bed with the barrels.
Alright,
I'll sit off the back.
okay. Alright. Hey,
And I
Matt.
can make perception checks. I'm feeling alert.
Matt, can you hear me? Shake your head yes. Okay, we can't hear you. So I'm guessing one of two things. Either your mic is not set to default, or your output device is set incorrectly.
He popped up there for a second. I could hear him.
Yeah, I can't hear him at all.
It was like half a second.
Okay, that's fine. If you need to respond, go ahead and throw it in the Roll20 chat, and I'll read it. And we'll just go with that, okay? I'd appreciate you trying to get on. Okay, so you guys are on your way back. Who would like to handle the perception checks for your day?
I will.
All right, go ahead and make your first check for the morning.
That would be a 14.
Okay. So you make it about 3, maybe 3.5, 4 hours outside of Lurie. The road at this point starts to, so you were in kind of like that low valley by the river, just gentle rolling hills and grasses and things of that, dotted trees here and there. But as you get that 3 to 4 hour mark outside going back towards Orius, you now have a little more rolling hills as you're starting to move back up towards the mountains as you're making your way back. All of a sudden, you hear this loud, almost like growling sound as you turn and you see this giant wolf-like entity standing on a knoll about 100 feet off the road, kind of on the mountainside of the road, just kind of standing there looking at you.
I heard everything except what it was.
A very, very large wolf-like creature. Can you?
Pipe pedal.
I'm gonna wave at it.
No, he's on all fours. He's just sitting there, kind of like a dog or a wolf sitting kind of straight up with his legs tucked in front of him, just kind of standing, just watching you.
I offer it some bacon.
Yes, wolf friends.
Well, he's 100 feet away, so you're gonna have to get a little closer than that. He's just sitting there watching you at this point.
I'll take the reins if you want to hop off.
I kind of do want to pop off.
Go
Stay
talk
in
to your
the car.
friend. Climb over all these barrels.
You watch as the gnome kind of hand over hand pulls his ass up onto the top.
I will cast Speak with Animals on myself.
Okay. Do you get off and
Yeah.
approach?
Yeah, very slowly approach, bacon in hand.
Okay.
Did we bring a gnome? You said it was a gnome climbing over the barrels.
Yeah, I'm a dwarf.
Did I say no?
Oh man, you just
I'm
called the
sorry.
dwarf a gnome.
Hey, that's
That's
racist.
right.
I meant to say dwarf. You can beat me
Oh, you
later.
had an NPC with us or something. I was like, oh.
No, you can beat me
Yeah, we
later.
kidnapped one of the stable guys.
You did. You can beat me later. It's cool. All right. So as you get closer, you get within about 40 feet, and his ears kind of turn in that like forward kind of defensive-ish kind of position, and you kind of see him kind of arch his back just a little bit, and he's staring very intently at you as you get closer.
You were at the bacon.
Do what?
You were at the bacon.
No, he's staring at you. He's looking right into your eyes. It doesn't appear that he sees the bacon at this point. He's just looking at you.
From the cart, I'm going to say, don't make any sudden noises.
Wolf doesn't flinch.
Let's stop the cart, by the way, so we don't leave it behind.
Okay. Matt, they got the bacon at the bar. You had gotten a small packet full of bacon too on your way out the door.
I'll stop at that 40-foot mark and just stare at him for a moment, and then just greet him as "Hello, Hunter."
He kind of cocks his head to the side for a second, and you see his ears kind of like, instead of being forward and kind of like he's leaning forward like he's gonna charge you, he just kind of sits back on his feet again. You go and you hear this low, deep voice. Hello.
So he's looking more calm now.
Yeah. He went from like being in a forward kind of aggressive
Right, okay.
position to more sitting like on his haunches.
Do you not have a pack, or are you out here alone?
I have no need for a pack.
Oh, playing the lone wolf angle, huh?
You could say that.
Why would that be?
I just have no need for a pack. I kill on my own.
Well, there is more to life than killing, even for a hunter as yourself.
Oh, I have my ways of fun. Sometimes
Well, now-
I kill, sometimes I don't.
Gotcha.
What are you doing on the road? Wow, that was loud.
We're on our way to a settlement up the road, a few days' travel. What are you doing this close to the road? Normally don't see your kind this close.
Just amused by watching people travel by. It passes the day.
Understandable.
I like to see who's traversing my lands.
You don't seem too put off that I'm able to speak to you. Have you ever spoken to one of my kind before?
Not in a very long time.
Are you hungry?
I'm always hungry.
I'd be willing to share my bacon with you if you would like some.
He eyes you very intently. I wouldn't say no to some food. Saves me from having to go and catch something today.
I will sit down where I am and allow him to come to me if he wishes to do so, but I'll unwrap the napkin of bacon and take a bite.
He gets up on all fours and his ears kind of peek around, pointing forward, and he does about a 15-foot circle all the way around you, just kind of eyeing you up. Then he comes around to the front of you and then comes to about 5 foot and sits back on his haunches and just kind of gives you a what you would assume is a little bit of a smile.
A little sparkle in his eye.
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
I'll nudge the napkin towards him.
He kind of reaches down and picks up a piece, and it disappears with the quickness. Ah, yes. Mortal food. So delicious.
Mortal, huh?
That's what I said.
So I take it that you're not a typical wolf.
Oh, but I'm very much a wolf.
I didn't doubt that. Just talking about typical.
I have no need for being typical.
Interesting. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
Old enough.
To party?
Oh, you beat me to it.
I've seen a few parties in my day.
Well, I've recently passed my first century, so
Congratulations. In a few more centuries, maybe we can chat.
I have to ask, what is your story?
Just a wolf that likes to sit by the roadside and watch the traveler's journey.
I don't believe that for a moment.
Believe what you wish.
I think you have stories to tell. I think you've seen many things in your lifetime. I think you've done many things in your lifetime.
I've traveled these lands. I've seen a few things. I know a
I
few
imagine
folks.
that.
I know a few more.
Pretty bad coffee got there.
Been this way since I had the flu 3 weeks ago.
I was talking about the wolf.
Oh. Funny.
I would imagine that you'd have a few things that you could teach us, lesser and younger mortals. Nuggets of wisdom we could glean from your encounters.
Someday maybe you'll be worthy of my wisdom.
I hope that someday we will meet again and I can learn these things.
Perhaps. Perhaps if you have more bacon.
I can always get more bacon.
I will leave you with this. Ahead, half a day's travel. Keep your eyes open. And you hear like a clap of thunder. And you see a bright flash, kind of like if you're sitting here and you're looking at him, kind of off to your right, the thunder kind of claps. And just giant blue, white flash of light. And it turns your guys' heads to him, and then you turn back, and gone. No wolf. Just gone. Just gone.
Roll for tingling sensation. Well, I am going to... Is there any bacon left?
Yeah, he only took one piece.
I'm going to leave the rest of it. Start walking back down to the caravan. About halfway, I'm going to lose my shit and then be very excited, almost hopping up and down, and be like, I met a Demi Wolf! I think he was a god.
A god wolf, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
He was cool.
So you stared at a wolf for a couple minutes and then killed him with lightning?
Sure.
Is that what?
That is exactly what happened.
I mean, that's what I saw. Is that what you people do?
People.
Druids?
I mean, you're about half right.
Kill dogs with lightning? Oh, okay.
More so the staring and talking part.
Talking, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I believe Dobrum had an
Okay,
interaction
hear
that
me?
he would like to. Oh, hey,
Okay.
Hear me?
I can hear.
Yes.
Little bits and pieces.
So, Celebros, this is the, I've seen you like this. How long have you been able to talk to animals?
The last 2 years, give or take 120.
Into them.
To be fair, Gwyneth, he is literally in the sticks right now.
Yeah.
Yikes.
You're cutting out really bad, my man. We can type it though. We can type talk.
Kermit the Frog style. Aye, and what do you say to him? You can speak back to him. It's okay.
I reckon we're back on the road at this point, in motion.
Yeah, you guys have taken off and are on your way. And I'm real stupid and forgot to move that fucking picture again. Yay, sorry Twitch.
We're still in the tavern.
I've been left behind. No.
Oh
Saw the
no.
kitchen.
Oh no!
Alright, so you guys continue on with your day. You make the rest of the day. Go ahead and make me another perception check, Saros, please.
There's some role playing going on in chat right now.
Okay.
It's another 14.
If Matt's gonna type, could whoever he's responding to, could you speak out loud so that I know
yeah.
that's going on?
Yeah.
Um,
Secrets can be held. What is the character's name again?
Dobrum.
Dobrum. Okay. Secrets can be healthy, Dobrum. Sometimes they keep you alive. Sometimes they keep others safe.
Dobrum, it seems like you have a lot of secrets that you're not sharing with the class. Makes a dwarf a bit uncomfortable.
Were you able to hear my response?
Whatever I wish to say sometimes.
Oh, that.
Questions of the time.
Sometimes secrets keep you safe, and sometimes they can keep others safe.
Gotcha. Reply incoming. Sometimes your group can keep you safe. Just don't forget that we're working together in this.
I mean, I did tell you what we talked about. He told us to keep eyes on the road, and that he's definitely not just a wolf. More specifically, he told us to keep our eyes open on the road ahead.
Go ahead and make your second perception check for the day, please.
Can I assist on this one out front?
You may.
So, advantage?
Yes, please.
19.
Okay. You don't notice anything too crazy out of the ordinary. You see a couple of caravans coming past, heading to Luri. You see various small skittering animals, squirrels, rabbits, those kinds of things pass throughout the day. Field mice. Nothing too out of the ordinary. No bandits, no farmsteads or anything like that. You're basically, now that you're a good half a day's travel or so into your day, you're kind of in that zone of there's just not a lot out here other than rolling hills and rocks and a few trees here and there. There's not really a ton.
Certainly no more god animals out here. I don't believe him at all, by the way.
Totally fine. So you guys make your afternoon. The sun starts to go, kind of start to escape you towards the west. Kind of starting to go down behind the far mountains in the direction of Aureus. Go ahead and roll your last perception check for the day as your horses are starting to slow a bit and your wagon is starting to slow down a little as the end of the day starts to approach.
Somebody want to assist again?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. I just don't want to assume 18.
As you begin to slow your pace for the day, knowing that the end of the day is pretty close, unless you want to push on, it's up to you. Saros, you catch a glimpse of something kind of dark just peek out from behind one of the hills, kind of in front of you, about 100 yards or so off to your left-hand side. You don't really get a real great look at it, just something dark, and it drops back in to the hill.
I will quietly relay this to the party. Hey, there's something watching us off of this direction. Just disappeared.
Should we go look for it?
Well, McLovin did tell us to keep our eyes open during the day.
It's been about 12 hours since we murdered something, so might as well.
Yeah, we're about 100 yards to our left.
A couple minutes goes by and you see the dark figure kind of poke its head out from behind the little rock outcropping / hill and then duck back again.
Still no like discernible features as to even what it would be.
Not really. It's more of you're just far enough away and it's starting to get towards late evening that you just kind of see the outline of something poke out and poke back.
In the same spot as before?
Same spot.
Matt's mentioning dwarves have dark vision. I don't know if that helps there.
Okay. With your dark vision, you recognize it to be a humanoid figure. You don't get any real detail, but it's definitely a humanoid figure of some kind.
Could be more bandits, as with our first past.
I'll quietly say to the group, what if it's one of the Bleeding Forge guys headed back to Lurie? And if we pass them, what if they go find out what happened? They do something sad to Philip.
They may already know. They are a criminal enterprise. This could be an ambush.
Shouldn't we investigate?
I feel that we should.
Suppose so.
I'll slide off the top of the cart.
I guess I'll pull it off to the roadside.
Slide up to the bar and tell you how fucking Oh, I'm sorry. ICP there for a moment.
Dating yourself a little bit.
Oh, stop it. I know. I couldn't resist, though. Old man dragons, you're right, man. Okay, so...
Assuming I know where this figure is, I'll...
Yeah, you know where it's
Start
at. Are
kinda
you going to try to...
slipping my way
Are you going to
towards it.
stealthily try to slip over in that direction, or are you going to not give a shit and just go in that direction?
I'll stealth. I'll sneak.
Stealth?
Second.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check for me, please. To see if you can get off of the cart and get hidden and make your way. Is anybody else going to get stealth or anything like that?
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Make it look like we're working on the cart, or I am.
Dobrum, you can absolutely try to make a distraction if you want. Just tell me what you want to try to do, and then I'll have you roll for it.
You got a 15 for stealth.
15.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, 7.
So you guys were going with Joria, is that correct?
I'm gonna
Yes.
immediately draw my bow, at least.
Wait, how far away is this figure from the cart?
About 100 feet,
Oh, feet. I thought you said yards.
feet, yards.
Galms,
I know they're different, but
units of measure.
he's over.
I'm gonna stay by the cart.
They're over that away.
21.
21? Okay. So you guys slip off into the woods, and you see the figure, the three of you, as you've kind of slipped off to the side. You're starting to round, kind of around to the side of it a little bit, kind of behind behind another rock outcropping, and as you start to peek around it, Merrick, your quiver gets caught on this one tree branch that's between you and the rock that you're trying to slip around, and one of your arrows gets pulled out of your quiver and kind of clatters to the ground. And in an instant, someone just appears in front of you, standing there with a staff in their hand, with these like red glowing eyes.
Gandalf!
Standing right in front of you, with this like fucking wicked evil smile on his face. Oh, hello there, my children. Fancy to see you here on the road again. Going somewhere?
Is this just in front of Merrick, or
No, it's in front
We
of
all
in front of the three of you. I had assumed you guys were going together.
Yeah.
well, I'll say you're not my dad.
No, I am not your dad. But I am going to be your master.
What's our safe word there?
What's your safe word? Are you talking to me or your group?
To the guy who's
Oh,
Your
okay.
master.
I'm sorry.
keep up here. Jesus.
Sorry, 2 weeks, right? Oh, there is no safe word with the things I'm gonna do to you folks. Oh, it's been far too long since I've been able to stretch my powers. And he taps his staff, and the three of you instantly freeze in place.
Oh, it's one of those no roll things, huh? Okay.
Oh yeah. And he takes his staff, and he's roll a perception check, the three of you.
Perception.
13.
Another 7.
It's 12.
Damn. Okay. All right. So you guys, I'm gonna die, I think. Fuck.
Oh, cool.
Sorry.
I'm gonna die.
So you watch this guy, and his face is almost covered in shadow, except for the red eyes that you see. He's got kind of a cloak and hood kind of pulled up, and it's kind of over, and it's almost like one of those assassin-y type cloak hood things. It's kind of comes to a point almost, and he walks around you in about a 5-foot circle, just real slow. Make a perception check, people on the cart, to just see if you noticed this.
16.
16? Okay. I mean, he wasn't trying to hide himself whatsoever, so you would see that with a 16, yeah.
Making that face from Italian Spider-Man. The guy's like, I don't know if the camera's working, but I just made a face.
Nice. And do you like stand up to try to join your party, or what do you do?
Yeah, I guess I'll head over. I can only go so far, but
Okay.
it's at least 100 feet, you said?
Do you relay this to Dobrum to follow you?
Yeah, I mean, he could run. It's his prerogative.
So, as the figure gets to the backside of the group, He turns his head and notices the two of you jump from the cart and start heading his way, and he taps his staff again, and instantly the two of you blink out and blink right back in next to your group, and you're frozen in place. So all of you are standing right here, not able to move. And he continues his circle, just chuckling. Ah, yes. So much potential here. So much fun I could have. Oh, so much fun. So, tell me, what are your names? I'd love to know the names of the ones I'm about to torture. It makes it more personal.
Can we talk?
You can talk, you just can't.
Oh, I just want to spit at him.
You go to spit and it just kind of drools out of your mouth.
The principal is there.
He just laughs. What's wrong? No control over your bodies, eh?
No, you just bore us.
Is that so?
Trope-filled bad guy I've ever met.
Fair enough. He taps his staff again, and your body starts to lift off the ground. And there's like a tree branch that comes kind of down and kind of into like a little bit of a hook. And he just takes your body and hangs you off of it, like off of your cloak and stuff. It catches your back, and you're about 10 foot off the ground now. He just hangs you on the tree like an ornament. There.
Is that really all you got, man? I mean, if you're gonna torture and kill us, can you just get onto it? Because we got shit to do otherwise.
I'll get to you in a minute.
Uh-huh.
He looks over at Merrick, and he goes, My. A lizard man. I haven't seen one of you in these parts in quite a while. Tell me, how did you get here? You're quite a ways from home.
Well, I don't know how you got here either.
Well, I can be anywhere I choose to be.
And so can the great Mirkthend.
Right. Self-absorbed lizard man. Got it. And he taps his staff and he picks you up and hangs you on another branch. Ah. Little girl, what is your name?
Why do you care?
Because it's amusing.
Well, I'm not going to tell you.
He taps his staff and you can feel like these invisible hands around your throat. And you just feel it squeeze in just ever so slightly. And then a little more and a little more and a little more and a little more and a little more. Until you pretty much black out and then it stops. I'll ask you one more time. What's your name? Or would you like to go visit your uncle?
You know Arvang?
Oh, you might say that.
Who are you?
I do believe I asked you first. It's rude not to answer questions when you're asked.
Well, if you
It's
know
also rude to hang and choke people without consent, douchebag.
He taps his staff and you can no longer speak.
Still muttering.
Roll a perception check for me, Sauros, please.
17.
Okay. He kind of looks at you, Joria, with this, like, half-cocked smile. My, this one has spunk. I like you. Tell me, your old bastard uncle, What did he teach you when you were young?
How to fight turds like you.
That's fun. And he taps his staff, and you get picked up, and you get set on another branch, basically hung by where your hammer meets your back and where it's lashed in. He kind of sets it over a branch. And you, cleric, how's Morden doing these days?
I reckon I'm about to see him.
We'll see. I like to take my time.
Hmm.
He taps his staff and picks you up and sets you on another branch. And you, man with the lute, what's your name? Heard of Morden?
You said that earlier when Mirk was talking.
Did he? Oh, okay, sorry. Seems like you already know who we are. I am Dobrum, and you are a Boyle. Funny.
Right up to the end.
He taps his staff, Dobrum, and you get out your lute and just start playing it without wanting to or trying. And it's this like very eerie, sad, just downright awful music. And you see him just kind of twitching his finger. Like he's directing you. Stairway to Heaven, but backwards, exactly. Ah, yes. This is fun. I sure do like you guys. I'm so happy that you happened upon my path this evening. Sabaros, one more perception check for me, please.
25.
As you're hanging there in the tree, and you really can't turn your body, but if you're looking straight ahead, so the road is off to your right-hand side. You went kind of around some rock outcroppings where this tree is with this dude. If you were to continue past that, there is a small grove of trees there that kind of go up this hill. And you see your wolf friend sitting at the edge of the trees, just sitting there watching.
I smile, hoping McLevin can see me. Seeing as I don't even know if I can smile. What can I move? Just my eyes?
You can move your eyes. That's basically it. You can't speak.
I
you can't
wink at
move.
him.
You see the wolf just kind of nod his head.
Just two dogs in an overcoat.
So, a couple more minutes goes by, and he does a few more circles around you, just admiring the music and the fun and the happy times that he's having with you guys stuck to a tree. He just seems to be really enjoying this, and all of a sudden, Joria, you feel yourself lift up off of the tree. And you float back down to the ground. And you can now move your body.
Swing at him.
Okay, go ahead. Roll for an attack.
15.
You swing, and the hammer passes through his figure. Oh, you're going to have to do better than that. Come on.
Oh, it figures.
Hit me.
Too much of a girl to actually fight us.
Hit me.
obviously can't. Why would I keep doing it? Why don't you hit me?
He taps his staff, and you immediately find yourself prone on your back with your hammer laying on your chest. Like someone hits you with a ton of bricks off of a roof.
Well, my hammer hits my chest.
Yeah. Basically, you find yourself on the ground with your hammer laying across your chest. Instantly.
Well, that was cheap.
Don't forget who's in charge here.
Well, I won't. And neither will you, I'd imagine.
Yes. It's so easy these days to do the things that I want to do. Praise be to Therazidun. It's so much fun. Get your hand out of our collective ass and tell us what the feck you want, you Therazidite. Oh, dwarf man. Oh, dwarf man. You're all so impatient to die. Why is everyone so impatient to die? Can't you just enjoy the process? And as you say that, he goes to tap his staff again. And you feel yourself lift up. And you like rise into the air. And you just keep going and keep going and keep going. And you go about, I'd say probably 100 feet in the air or so. And he looks up at you, and it's just like you're standing right next to him. I mean, you can hear it like you guys were having a conversation like not a foot away. And he says, as he's looking up, he says, I shall enjoy watching you splatter the earth in front of me. And he taps his staff again, and you start to free fall. 50 feet, 40 feet, 30 feet, 20 feet, 10 feet. And just before you smash the ground, you hear this loud clap of thunder. And instantly standing in front of you is the wolf. And
Say his name.
Huh?
Just say his name.
No. No. There are no names here.
Already discussed. It's McLovin.
Snaps into place in front of you, and you freeze right above the ground. And your feet just touch the ground. And you can see this, like, completely startled look on this cloaked figure's presumable face. Kind of, like, jumps back a little bit with his staff. And the wolf just sits there on his haunches, just like he did when he was sitting there talking to Savros. And you hear... does anybody speak... Actually, go ahead and make a... anybody speak Celestial?
Nope.
Thought about it, but no.
Nope. Okay. So you hear this... Does anybody speak Elven?
I do.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So you catch tiny pieces of the conversation as it ensues in front of you. As you hear this, like, almost positionless voice on both sides speaking in this language that you don't understand. And it's very otherworldly. It's very old. And you see the wolf kind of stand up on all fours, and he just slowly circles the guy with the staff. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a bolt of lightning comes out of the sky and hits the wolf. And where the wolf was standing, now stands a woman. wearing a long, flowing kind of, I don't know, mixed with whites and greens and browns. You see, she turns and looks right at Sabros, and you see her eyes. Right, they're like glowing this like hot golden color, and she doesn't have round pupils. She has slit-like pupils.
Is
And you see her dress just kind of flows down to the ground, almost like bits of like lace and different things. Um, her skin is as white as snow. Her eyes, that just deep golden color, and they almost like pulse this like radiant energy. On her head, you see these two horns come out into this like structure of antlers. Around her neck, you see a glowing golden oak leaf, and when she smiles at this figure, as she's standing there, you see these like razor sharp teeth, just like the fangs of a wolf. And she slowly circles the guy with the staff, who is kind of visibly shooken a little bit by this. And you hear some more conversation in Celestial, which you don't understand, and you see this cloaked figure kind of start to take a couple of steps backwards. And you see out of nowhere this like spear apparate into the hand of this woman standing there. The hilt, it almost looks like twisted gnarled oak. It's beautiful, and the spearhead is just this shining, shimmering golden spearhead. And from around where the spear attaches to the staff itself, there's like a golden cording wrapped around it, with two oak leaves kind of twisted around, and they kind of dangle, kind of like, for people who play League, you know how Xin Zhao, sometimes his staff looks like it's got something hanging off of it, like cording or something. And in one motion, she flips it around and jams it right through this guy's chest. And you just see him like slide down, and as the spear hits his body, you just see this black and purple burst of light just emanate from his chest, and you watch the red eyes go from red to kind of like a light pink to like a dull nothing, and he just slides down her staff, or her spear. And you can see she's like kind of taking deep breaths as she's standing there with the spear kind of like this, jammed through his chest. And the guy stops moving, and all of you immediately, your branches snap and you fall to the ground.
Thought we were.
so the magic has no hold over us now.
The magic has no hold over you anymore. So
Do I
whatever.
know this to be a deity of some sort?
I mean, you could assume so. You could roll a religion check if you'd like to see if any of these.
I would like to go to my knees
Okay.
and thank Lady Sylvanas for rescuing us.
So she takes her spear and she just kind of like flings it to the side, and you see this body just go cascading off, and it hits the ground and it just bursts into this like necromantic looking energy. It just kind of dissipates into the wind. She kind of shakes it off a little bit and then lets go, and it just disappears. And she turns around. Just this, it's almost like the wind is like fluttering around her, but there's no wind anywhere, and her dress just kind of is like this flowing. Her dark amber hair is just kind of flowing in the wind. Her eyes are just glistening with, and she's just got the biggest smile she could ever get on her face. And she kind of walks a little bit closer, and she looks down at you, Sabros, and she says, Rise. There's no need for this.
I do as my god commands.
So, the 5 of you would-be travelers trying to do good in this world, sought out by pure evil. Perhaps I'll have to keep my eye on you more.
After that encounter and graceful save, I hope you do.
Well, let's try not to make it a habit, shall we? The only reason that I decided to come down here from my perch of watching is we just can't have imbalance in this world anymore. It's already tough enough to keep things equal, if you know what I mean. And she circles you, Sabros, and she just smiles as she reaches down and kind of touches your shoulder and runs her finger around the back of your neck. Yes, you'll do just fine. As she gets to the far side of your neck, you feel this like claw pop out from her finger and just kind of slice the side of your neck. And then she comes back around the front and she just kind of takes it and... My, it's been so long since I've hunted a mortal. Delightful. Well, you all get some rest and do be careful.
Dobrin says, Mistress, what should we call you?
You can call me the one that hunts in the night. And she turns around and you watch her just kind of walk away back towards the thicket of trees that she came from. And then she just basically just kind of melds into the shadows and disappears.
Let's say her name is Bat. What the hell? Do you know that lady? To Sabros.
It is Sylvanas, right?
Perhaps.
It's Sylvanas! And Sabros is just gleaming ear to ear, also trying to hide a erection.
So is she like your queen?
Yeah, I guess. She's kind of a god, but okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
That's... Oh. Is the other guy a god?
I would assume no, but I'm just gonna say no, and then if I'm wrong, we can get corrected later.
Joria, go ahead and roll a history check for me.
History is... Get a big fat bonus of 0. 15.
In your time in the temple and different places and reading certain things, you think back to your teachings and your tomes and stuff and what Arvang taught you, and you've never heard or read of one god killing another god without an extremely big price or fight or war or something like that. They don't typically intervene or apparate out of nowhere just to kill another god. Nor can most gods do that. So, take that for what it's worth.
I guess I'll take back what I said about there being no god animals out here.
Goddamn right you are.
In the distance, you just hear this loud howl like the deepest, richest, satisfying howl you've ever heard in your life. And it echoes through the valley. And you see a giant full moon start to come out over top of the mountains.
Can I use my druid craft to howl back?
Sure.
Yeah.
And you would suspect that perhaps maybe the wolf heard you. So, you guys gonna set up camp? You gonna keep going? What would you like to do for the evening?
Yes. Dobrin, you could hear it.
I guess we're hanging out. The horses are tired.
Okay. So, as you
He keeps
guys
asking you to do it in voice.
Ow! So you guys set up camp for the evening, make your fires, set up your bed rolls and things like that. And that is where we are going to take a quick break. So grab a snack, grab a drink, do what you need to do, and we will be back in about 5 minutes. Everybody on Twitch, hang out. We will be right back. Thank you for joining us, and we shall return.
to change the image.
I just did that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being on top of it. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for being patient for us. We are now back and live in session. We pick it up with the crew having gotten their full night's rest after their interesting encounter with the dark, ugly Batman, and having a close encounter of the third kind with some kind of entity. They are not sure which one quite yet, but they have some notions of who or what it could have been. So, you guys wake up. It's a crisp, cool morning. The sun is coming up over the mountains. You hear some birds starting to chirp in the air. It's a beautiful morning. Unless there's anything specific that you would like to do for the remaining part of your journey, I will just go ahead and, for the sake of brevity, fast forward us into you guys arriving at Aureus in the evening time, if that's okay with you.
That's fine. If that was technically a long rest, I'm gonna Blessing of the Forge my chainmail again.
Yes, it was technically a long rest, sir.
Alright, so same as before.
Okay, perfect. Alright, so you guys arrive to the the northeastern gates of Aureus just before sundown. Your horses and your cart remain intact without any issues. You find your way to the gates, and having been through the gates before and through this process, you know that it takes a couple minutes for them to check your cart and talk to you and ask you where you've been, what you've been doing, those kinds of things. But that kind of goes off.
Just murdering.
It goes off without a hitch. So you are now inside the main walls of Aureus, and the evening is yours.
Should we go ask Grizzly where that place is?
Yeah, we got a delivery for him anyway.
So you guys make your way to the Storm Stout.
Mm.
Okay, you pull up outside the kitchen door where you picked up the cart and the empty barrels from before. You make your way inside the Storm Stout Tavern, and Grizzly is elated to see you. Oh, hi, did you have a good trip to Lurie? How was it? Tell me, come, sit. Ale! As he snaps his fingers, you just watch as his staff brings you, like, food and ale, and you kind of set up at a corner table, so the fireplace was kind of like right in the center of the far wall, and there's kind of like a back section, and you guys head back in that direction as you sit down and chat for the evening.
Well, we've got this in spades now, and we'll raise my ale mug.
I appreciate you bringing the ale. We won't run out now. Unless we drink it all.
A solid plan.
Aye, it's always a good plan to drink ale. It also makes you money. So, tell me of your travels. What did you find out?
Who wants to go off? I feel like Joria speaks the fastest.
I'm gonna take my switcher off.
We saw a flying horned lady kill a wizard, and there was a wolf there was thunder and stuff. And we killed a whole bunch of guys in a bar.
I am immediately regretting this decision.
He just kind of looks at you like, alright. So, were they Bleeding Forge, or what were they?
Yeah, they were. We went to the Silverleaf Brew House. The guy said that their headquarters was here in Aureus. So we came back. I also brought your ale.
And been a god. But it's not relevant to what you needed.
He
It's just really fucking cool.
He just looks at you with kind of like, okay, coolsies. I don't know. He's like, oh well, thank you for the ale. I always appreciate you bringing back what's been stole from me. So, Bleeding Forge, eh? I suspected it was them.
I didn't catch the district name that we were given.
It was the, hold on, the Slighted Way, I believe is what I called it. Here, let me just double check that real quick. It is the Slighted Dive, excuse me. Slighted Dive.
So, hey Grizzly, do you know where the Slighted Dive is?
Oh yes, it's not hard to find. It's the most southeastern section of the city. It's basically up against from the wall. Like if you were to go to where the stables were and turn left and go down the street along the wall, the Slighted Dive picks up there and then kind of encompasses a fair chunk of that lower southeastern corner of Aureus. It's basically where you would find all of your less than trustworthy folks in town. So
I guess we'll have to go there. That's where the bad guys are.
well, I figured they'd be down there. You may want to be careful going down there. There's awful seedy customers in there from all over the continent. They come here to peddle their wares, sell their black market goods, take black market goods. Just be careful, okay? You got
I'm
my
sure
ale.
we'll be
You
fine.
got my
Bill
ale back.
doesn't
Are you
have
sure you want to go down there?
I'm gonna go bless the shit out of those guys.
Well, I think if we don't, they might go back and hurt the people that they were messing with in Lurie.
Dobrum's saying that a night attack would be the best bet and wants to know if we can go stealthy. And I have to agree.
He basically kind of looks each of you over and he goes, I guess that's the best as time as any as you would have attacking, you know. They definitely probably have no idea that you're coming. So definitely use that to your advantage.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. We fought like a dozen of them, and they haven't touched us. So I think these guys are just
Bunch of pushovers.
a bunch of
Bunch of little
thieves, it seems
bitches.
like. So I don't think there's much to worry about.
So you guys continue and finish up your conversation. If you have any other further questions, you can go ahead and ask him. Otherwise, he's going to get back to work. He thanks you again for your time. He thanks you for your contribution in bringing his ale back. You now are esteemed guests, VIP guests of the Storm Stout. You also, anytime you're in town, may stay for free. You eat for free. You drink for free. And if there's anything, any other services that you require, they will also be taken care of on the house.
Companionship up in the rooms.
Potentially, if that's what you wish.
By the owner.
Well, he is a he does have a very astute beard and mustache. Perhaps rides are free.
Nice. Can I? This really sounds like a conspiracy theory, but can I make like an insight check on Grizzle?
Sure.
See if I glean anything from his body language.
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
Also
Okay.
check if he's a horse diddler.
14.
A 14. There's something about his body language that isn't perfect or forthcoming, but it's not it's not
It's not enough to
immediately.
prove anything.
Yeah, it's not immediately like off-putting or like where you would like stop yourself and be like, ooh, I don't know. You know, it's not quite, not quite like that.
Alright.
What, Matt? What are you trying to do, bud?
Enhance ability for the inside check.
What about a non-natural 20 for insight?
I'll only allow one insight, but I will allow the owl's wisdom. So I believe that's an extra D4, is it not? Target has advantage. Roll your check with advantage, Gwyneth.
16.
16. Okay. You don't pick up a ton more. You kind of get you get a weird feeling that maybe he's not telling you everything that he knows, but it's not necessarily extremely off-putting. But
Got it.
it feels like there's more to the story there, but you can't really pin it down per se.
Yeah, I'm really not. I'm not trying to drag everyone into my conspiracy here, but I don't trust them.
It's too late for
entirely. Like, not everyone has to inside check it now, I promise. It's just, I'm not trusting them.
That's quite all right. I don't blame you. You literally just got hung from a tree, so I mean, sorta hung from a tree.
He did also just kind of tell us to go do this thing, so.
Also true. Very true.
Alright, yeah. I guess I'm ready to head out.
Okay. Are there any preparations that you'd like to make? Any plans that you would like to make? Any shops that you would like to visit? Like any of those kinds of things? I mean, it is completely up to your team what you all would like to do.
I would like to find good stabling for frickin' Frack. That is not the one they came from.
Well, the guy's dead, so.
I don't care.
You sent a new Sable Hand, right?
It's tainted.
Hmm.
The only other stables in Aureus, or the most notable stable that's in Aureus, is in.
Eric.
It's in the West Slope,
Then I guess I'm going to the west slope.
which is a 30-minute walk.
Then I guess I'm taking the 30-minute walk.
Okay. So Sabros disappears with the horses into the sunset to the far northwestern part of town.
You're right.
Is he going alone?
I mean, you can come if you want.
So we have an hour, essentially.
It'll take about an hour, hour and a half for him to complete his trip.
In that time, same as the first bandit battle, I pinched like a short sword, I think, from the dead bandits. Can I make lockpicks out of those with my channel divinity?
Yeah, sure. There's no roll for that, is there? Or is
No, it's just an hour-long ritual, so as long as I have the time.
Yeah. You've got an hour to kill, so go right ahead.
Alright, what do they call that? It's a set of tools. Is it like thieves' tools or something? Just so I can...
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright.
Lockpicks would fall under thieves' tools.
I'm doing that for an hour then.
I'm gonna spend the time diddling the ring.
Okay.
They take your money instead of giving you it.
Right. They kind of
You just
start.
get robbed.
They start throwing shit at you as you're on the stage.
Hey, this is the worst shit we've ever heard. Bard, what the fuck is this?
Mind control. Plucked your loot a little too hard.
He is a VIP of this establishment.
You will treat him with
Treat him with
respect.
respect.
Fuck your respect. Learn to
You would
play, ya bastard.
You have been excommunicated from the Bards Guild.
I loom over that guy with my hammer like some kind of enforcer.
He kind of turns and looks at you and sits down. Goes back to drinking his ale, angrily looking at you. Let's see. Somebody else wanted to do something. What was it?
I want to find logic.
You're looking for lodging for the horse. Somebody else just said something that I was supposed to get to. What the hell was it?
Oh, Mirac's playing with the ring.
Oh, thank you. That's what it was. Merrick. Okay, so you take the next, 45 minutes to an hour, and you're just kind of sitting there looking at the ring and kind of playing with it and looking it over, and all of a sudden you feel this like bite in your finger, and the ring just attaches to your finger, like, and all of a sudden you guys don't see Merrick anymore.
Boy.
Am I aware that I'm invisible?
You are not aware. Well, okay. Roll a perception check. Roll a perception check.
I don't know. I'm not super smart when it comes to this, nor am I good at stealth.
I don't think you are, so. No, you're not aware.
Perfect. All according to plan.
Okay, good.
So I'm assuming we were near each other.
Oh yeah, you're all sitting like in amongst each other. You would have seen him just disappear.
Okay, Mirek?
What's up, mate?
Did, confused looking around. Like, where'd you go?
Right here. I didn't go anywhere.
No, you're not. Can you turn invisible?
I don't think so.
Where are you right now?
I'm
You in front of
sitting
me?
right here.
No. You're invisible. I'll reach out. Just kind of
Your
blindly
hand,
grope.
your hand kind of touches his chest plate. You feel the
Oh.
feather.
Ah!
You feel the kind of different pieces that he uses of whatever he makes his armor out of, leather-wise.
What'd you do?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
I think I've developed a new skill.
That's cool.
Master of disguise. Camouflage is my art.
So you're like a chameleon lizard man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ironically, the one that wants to be the center of attention is nowhere to be found.
That's hilarious.
I say while kneeling on the ground.
Okay, so Flash over to Sabros. You spend your 30 minutes walking to the west slope. You come around the corner of this very ornately carved street. This district is very pristine. The buildings are fine marble. The lamp posts are like gilded iron, and you just see these like magic sconces or magic like lamps on top of them, and they just kind of pulsate this like candlelight aura, but there's no candle there. I mean, it's beautiful. The arched stoneways, like when you pass an alleyway and you look to the side, all the buildings in the alleyways have like magical sconces embedded into the sides of the wall, and the stone archways are just like it's just like dwarven script all the way across in this particular district. You're in a very nice part of Aureus right now.
I look at
we're
frickin'
not-
Frack, raising eyebrows, says, "It's gonna be a good lodging for you boys."
They kind of
Boys.
they whinny.
And I will continue into the stable.
Okay, takes another 5 minutes, and you round another corner, and there in front of you is a 2-story structure. It's got kind of like a wrought iron. It's basically built at the end of a block, right? So it's a fairly thick building built up against the wall of the city. And then out from it, it's got two iron gates, but it's that like thick wrought iron that's probably about an inch in diameter, and they go up in elongating spikes to the center, and they're swung about 10 feet wide right now, just kind of open, kind of like this. Being it's so late, there's not really a lot of activity going on except for the night staff that are taking care of the horses and stuff. And as you pass through the gate, you start to look around, and from left to right, there's probably 20 or 30 very pristine stalls set up. Each have its own wooden door with gold bars across it. But it's not like it's not like a cell window. It's like half of the door, essentially, for the animal to look out, or for them to open that and put feed and stuff through. And they're pure gold. The floor, or the stonework in the floor is clean. There's not a drop of dust or dirt or straw or anything anywhere. You see this very finely dressed elven boy come out to you. Yes, good evening. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm seeking lodging for these beautiful creatures I have in tow, and I'm wondering if you have any room.
For the right price, we might have room.
And what would the right price be, good sir?
Who's calling?
I don't hear anybody calling.
What is your name, sir?
The Sabros.
Sabros, right. Leave them here and follow me, please.
Leave them here with who?
And as you hear him say that, you watch two more elven boys step out from like the sides of like stalls. They just kind of step out.
I look around shiftily and hand the reins over and follow this guy.
Okay, he leads you to a little office kind of in the central portion of the stables, and he sits down behind a very fine oak desk, and he has like a large leather tome sitting on the desk with like a quill and some ink, and he sits down behind it and he flops it open and he runs his finger down to a line, and he grabs out his quill and he dabs a little oil and he Sabros. He writes it down, and 2 horses.
Yes, 2 horses. Frickin' frack.
Writes down 2. All right, that'll be. You see him scribble a couple of notes, and that'll be 1 gold a night, please, per horse.
Alright. I dig down into my ever-emptying coin purse, do these 2 fucking horses, and hand him 2 gold.
He takes your 2 gold, writes a few more notes. Are there any special requirements for your animals, sir?
Do not touch their penises. And I say that in the most deadpan, serious tone that I can muster.
Roll an intimidation check for me.
To intimidate them into not touching.
17.
He just stops with his quill, then he looks up at you when you say touch their penis, and he's like, I don't think we've ever had that problem here.
I would hope not, because they've had this problem in the past, and it didn't end well for the horse diddler.
I can assure you that doesn't happen here, sir. The
I know, you had
richest of
some,
the
you had
rich
some
bring
pretty
their-
greased up stable boys coming out to take my horses.
Forgive me for their rapid appearance, but we do pride ourselves on our customer service here. This is the richest stable in Aureus. We take care of many fine animals here.
Sounds good.
Thank you. You can retrieve your horses whenever you like. Just know that it'll be 1 gold a day.
I thank you for your services. What is the name of this establishment, by the way?
The Gilded Run.
Gilded Run. We just came from the Purple Parakeet, if you're familiar.
Oh, did you see Gregory?
I did!
Oh, he's such a lovely little gnome.
Ah, he was fantastic. Treated these horses very well.
Well, next time you tell him Frank said hi, okay?
I will do exactly that.
Thank you. You just see him like when you said that, he just like got all happy. Apparently, Gregory's pretty well known.
Well, it is the best horse stables this side of the mountain.
That's right. That's right. So, you leave them in their well-capable hands, and you make your way back to the tavern.
Commander Shepard is just my favorite stable this side of the mountain.
Oh my god. Alright, so you guys are all back in the main area of the tavern. You've had some drinks, you've had some discussion, you found out some information. Maybe not as much information as you'd like, but make your plan and figure out what you gonna do.
I will be getting my long trek back to the tavern.
Okay. You've now completed your trek and you're back.
Oh, yay! It's time for beer.
Do we really want to be drunk for this?
Oh, yeah. Forgot we're going murdering. I forgot about that.
A murder hobing will go, a murder hobing will go. Hi ho the merry-o, murder hobing we go.
God damn it. Okay, murder hoboing and then beer.
Fine. I'm gonna have to turn into a missionary after this. Never kill a man again.
Okay. Alright, Dobrim has a suggestion for you guys.
You gonna play for the bandits?
At the front, front of the district?
Right out front, as loud as possible. Well, you would have to, locate what building amongst hundreds of buildings would be theirs, and then play outside of it.
The one with the creepy guy out front.
There's lots of
With the
creepy
bandit
guys.
logo painted on the door.
That'd be the one.
I've spent like 40 fucking gold on these horses so far.
Yeah, we should send the horses in.
You did promise to take care of them.
I did. And they're good boys.
They have taken you a long way.
I guess we just walk down to seedy McSeedville.
Alright, so you guys make your way to the Slighted Dive. When you get to the archway that splits the commons from the Slighted Dive, it's pretty apparent when you step through that you're in a different part of town. The streets aren't as clean. There's not necessarily trash laying around, but there's broken sticks and various things kind of scattered on the sidewalks and whatnot. The sconces that light the street are kind of dirty and dusky a little bit. They're not anywhere as clean as what you saw, Sabros. Like, this is like the exact opposite of what you encountered in the West Slope. You see different cloaked and hooded figures just kind of wandering the streets. You see people propped up against buildings flipping coins, and you see, as you pass an alleyway, you see a guy kind of huddled over a little like wooden crate throwing dice. So there's dice and card games and things going on. You hear loud ruckuses coming from different buildings as you pass down the streets. You could only assume that they're either clubs or different guilds or bars or things of that nature. As you pass another 5 minutes, you step past another 3-story building and you hear laughter, and you hear like giggles and different things, and as you walk past the open door there at the front, there's two big buff looking like half orcs standing at the door, just kind of standing there with their arms crossed like this, and you just catch this like wave of perfume come out the door as you walk past, and you can just hear various like laughs and giggles coming from inside as you pass by. Want to buy some death sticks?
It's a very seedy neighborhood. I feel like someone's going to be trying to sell death sticks.
So, what are you guys going to do to try to locate the headquarters of the Bleeding Forge? Buy a sundial.
We have a secret password, don't we?
We do. Did anybody write it down?
I did on that other computer I was using.
Midnight. It's a midnight something.
That's what comes in the
at
night.
What comes in the night?
Alexa is talking to me. Alexa, stop.
You can absolutely go in there if you'd like.
You just yell it at the top of your lungs.
Gross.
Could be a combination comedy club and perfume store.
Could be. It could be. Alright, so what is your goal with what you're doing there, Dobrum?
I feel like I need to stay outside. It's the God-fearing dwarf that I am.
Fair enough. So, Dobrum, are you going to try to enter this Palace of Ill Refute? So you're going to say the password and ask where you can find the boss at the door. Just going to lay it out there, right?
I believe he was trying to imitate one of their voices.
Oh,
actor
okay. Gotcha. Okay, so, I don't have your sheet open, but, what is actor tied to? Is it performance, or... It's gonna be a D20 plus whatever the hell it's tied to. Does it say on there? Nice. It's gotta be performance, which is based in charisma, so roll a D20, add your proficiency bonus and your charisma modifier. And go ahead and do it with advantage, because I'm feeling generous tonight.
Actor gives you advantage, actually.
Oh, does it give you advantage? Okay, well, fuck, there we go. Hot damn. You gain +1 charisma, you have advantage on performance checks when trying to pass as someone else. Please, sir, with advantage, make your roll.
Jeez.
Roll again.
Yay!
I'm not getting beat up.
Good job.
Feet's already paying for
Alright,
itself.
so you come up to the door, and the two half-orcs are standing there just looming over you at the door, and they just kind of look down at this dwarf, right? Like, kind of, who the feck is you? And you spout off whatever gibberish it is that you're going to spout off. As soon as you say the password, both of them unfold their arms and put them down to their side, and they both so they were kind of like almost shoulder to shoulder at the door with like a little gap of light between you, and they just kind of step aside and turn like this.
Well, there's that then.
I'll follow it.
I walk in and gesture to my friends to join. Okay. So, the lot of you, as you enter through the door, it immediately opens up into this grand, essentially, hall, right? at the end of the hall, you see 3 golden. They're not. They're poles essentially that come down from the ceiling in 3 different spots. You see off to the right a small stage where there is a group of 3 performers just getting after some sort of crazy, almost tribal type beat. And you see 3 very scantily clad tabaxis up on stage just doing different tricks and tumbles and twists on the poles and different things. Just doing all kinds of fun stuff. You see a group of patrons just kind of crowded around the stage, just hooping and hollering. You see coins flying through the air and landing on the stage, and you see ale being slammed together as it sloshes out onto the ground. There's a roaring fire in the other side. You see different wenches and barmaids bringing drinks and meat, and you see on one table in the far left corner, you see a big boar with a big apple in its mouth, and a group of people sitting at a table eating. You know, it's a straight up frickin' party up in here. There's all kinds of entertainment and people just mingling about and doing their own thing. Some in groups, some by themselves. Animal handling. Sabros, chill out. Calm down. Do what?
Mirek immediately goes to party because it's the last thing I would actually do.
You get two mugs of ale and just conga.
So, like, these guys don't seem that bad. Can we, like, sign up or some shit?
I mean, you knew the password and you came on in. I mean, nobody gets by the fucking orcs without the password. So I mean,
Shit, yeah, we're Bleeding Forge!
must have done something right.
I'm having a great time.
I'm gonna walk up to the first 1 or 2 people I see at or near the bar. I'm like, hello, fellow criminals.
You have your hammer over your shoulder.
I'm gonna choke on my beef jerky.
I too am a ne'er-do-well.
A fine day for crime.
Y'all are gonna get thrown out of here. He's rolling for shove damage.
Bleed
So-
him dry.
The 2 guys sitting at the bar that you walked up to just turn and look at you. They kind of, and who the fuck are you?
God, smile.
Who the fuck are you?
I'm Linda.
Who the fuck is Linda? I ain't never seen you around here before. Where'd you come from?
Lurie?
Oh. You the one that brought the stolen ale?
Stolen.
Yeah. You know. From that dude down there at the tavern. Where we get all of our drinks from?
Well, no, I never brought it personally. But yes, same town.
Right. You must be new here. What's your business here? What do you do?
I'm an enforcer. Point the hammer.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm.
Roll initiative. Just you. As he stands up from the bar and turns to clock you in the face.
Also, before things get too crazy,
Mhm.
Dobrim wanted to talk to the bartender.
Okay.
I think.
I'd
the
like to
bar.
go up to the bar and ask.
Initiative.
Okay. Dobrim, you go up to one of the bar keeps and you say the name. And as you say the name, 4 people around you just stop what they're doing and they turn and they look at you. And now they're just staring at you. They're not drinking, they're not partying, they're not doing anything. They're just staring at you, watching you talk to the barkeep.
That URL scares me, but I'm going to open it anyway.
The barkeep leans in real close and goes, "Hi, friend. You seem to be new here. That might be a name you don't want to just go throwing around. Just some friendly advice."
I come over and I give that guy a twirl.
Destin Lurie, I was told to look him up. I'm the replacement. Fair enough, but yeah, you don't mention that name. That's not how we work around here. Are you Boy, you must be really new. Did you not get the proper training?
They skipped our orientation.
Well, friend, I hate to tell you this, but I have no idea where the boss is. And the four guys that were standing around kind of like lower their shoulders and go back to drinking. You see that table? And he's kind of like got his hand on his face like this, feeling bad for you. And he kind of goes like this and points at the table with the boar with the apple in its mouth and says, "You'll want to go over there. But might I suggest you don't go over there and just start asking questions out of nowhere about the leader of the entire syndicate. Okay?" Just saying. Yeah, no worries, no worries. One dwarf to another. I just work here. Okay, so as you stand up, as you stand up to turn to go do whatever it is you're gonna do, or to come back to your party, Jory, what did you roll for your initiative?
8 total.
8 total. All right.
Is that a 1?
Sure is.
This guy's gonna fall on his face.
So, as you guys have your quick converse, and you tell him you're enforcer, he leans back on his chair to swing at you, and as he leans back and you watch his fist start to come forward, the chair tips out from behind him, and he just falls on his back onto the floor. And everybody around him just erupts into laughter. And they immediately think you are the coolest fucking person on the planet. They kind of walk up to you. One guy slams a nail down beside you and just pats you on the back. That's the funniest shit I've seen all day. You look like a fool, Doro.
I just go, yay! And drink.
He stands up and like dusts the ale off of himself. And he comes up and he says, "I was just testing you. Enforcer, huh? How many men have you killed?"
At least a dozen.
Aye, good. Blood spilt, that's what we like around here. Come, drink with us. Come drink with us.
Yay! Okay. Let's go wander off with a band of hardened criminals.
It skips over.
Jory is oblivious to the danger of
Yeah.
the situation.
Hardened criminal Joria. That's right. That's
It's like, yeah,
you just earned a
friends.
You just earned a new skin. That's hilarious. Hardened.
The only difference is her eyebrows are slightly lower.
Right. That's hilarious. Okay, so Dobrum, as you turn and approach the table with the boar, roll a perception check.
I think he was coming back to friends before he goes off.
Holding. All right, do what you want to do first.
He said, I'd like to bring this info back to the gang.
So you come back to the group and you relay everything that you had a conversation about.
Can I get a quick layout of this room? I don't know if I missed it, but like, are there stairs anyway?
Sure. So when you walked in front of you, like if you walk through the door, directly in front of you from one end to the other is a bar. And there are just like casks lined up against the back wall, and there are mistresses and barmaids and wenches and just a lot.
Yeah, that I got.
Up and down the bar.
Yep.
As you come out from the bar, there are tables set up, kind of just in not really any kind of set fashion. Each one has probably 6 to 10 chairs around it. Every single table from the door to the stripper poles is booked. This place is stuffed with people. The bards are in the corner just going crazy. But in the far front left corner, there is a table with a boar with the apple in its mouth, with some extremely well-armored, important-looking people with a cascade of people around them. Think Game of Thrones head table.
Got it.
So, that's kind of the layout that you got there. How do you want to approach this, friends? I think there are too many hardened criminals in here for even Joria to handle.
Joria's the hardest criminal of them all.
Yeah, ruthless.
Boars and whores.
Knocked the guy in his ass without even touching him.
Oh, boars and whores. That's right, baby. Somebody clipped that. That's fucking hilarious. Boars and whores.
Mini episode.
I like it. That's right. That's right. We're going to title this Boars and Whores. I love it. So, you guys are talking amongst yourselves. Are you trying to keep quiet? Do you just talk openly? I mean, you're literally in amongst hundreds of people right now.
Yeah, who's even left to tell? Because I guess I'm just hanging out. Joria's, yeah, right, yeah. Merrick is dancing. Sabra's probably getting drunk, right?
Yeah, definitely getting drunk and watching Tabaxi because animal handling.
Just for you.
What kind of coins are being thrown on the stage, by the way?
All manner. Copper, silver, gold. You see the occasional platinum.
I'm gonna flip a gold up there.
Clink, 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 clink. And you watch as one of the Tabaxi girls who's wearing this like low-cut pink top that kind of comes down into a V and kind of cuts around, and I mean just like just postage stamp covers, right? And she's wearing like in the 80s, you know those real tall V thong like G-strings, but in the front they're like real V-like. It's exactly what she's wearing. And she comes over and she bends down and grabs it, and she takes it and she sticks it like inside the one postage stamp and just winks at you and goes back to dancing.
I wink back as forcefully as I can.
You just see
Like-
this big cat-like smile.
Are there boobs on their stomach like a normal cat?
No, they're humanoid-like. No, they're properly positioned for humanoids.
Oh my god.
You could also title this "Stomach Titties." God damn.
Definitely not clicking that one.
Nope.
Fancy
Oh, Jesus. Woo, boy, not safe for work. Not safe for work. Anyways, okay, so
Well, I imagine it's up to our fearless bard. Since everyone looked
up
at
to
him
you
talking
guys. I
in the
give
bar.
you the lay of the land. I'm gonna let you play this out. So I'm I will
I'm dancing
facilitate.
until somebody interrupts me. Far away as possible. Maybe even stripping, who knows? Merrick's crazy.
I'm bringing it to Gwyneth. What are you bringing to Gwyneth?
The information, I imagine,
Gotcha.
of what's going on.
I gotcha. Okay. Fair enough.
Well, our compatriots seem busy.
I'm very busy.
It is true. I almost want to pull a missionary and go over to the table, ask if they've heard of the god Mord. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna stride up to the table,
Okay.
book in hand.
You approach the table, or you approach the crowd that's around the table.
Oh, there's some. Okay, yep. I guess the better plan is to go into the crowd and see if there's something going on.
Okay. So,
Why there's a crowd.
You kind of push your way in to the crowd that's surrounding the table, and there in front of you, you see four gentlemen seated at the table and one lady. The four gentlemen are all humans, and the lady is an elf. The gentlemen are all wearing fine leather armor. Each have like almost like a curled point, like this off to the side. It's very dark brown, almost black in this light. Each of them have dual scimitars across their back like this. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Uh, 12.
Okay. You see the two guys who are furthest from you at the back right side of the table are arm wrestling. And that's what this crowd is here to witnessing right now, is these two guys going back and forth, and you, this side of the crowd, and this side, as he pushes back this way. And finally the guy on the right hand side, who's wearing kind of like a blue sash on his right shoulder piece, slams the guy with the green sash into the table with his arm, and the crowd erupts. Drinks are flying, the ale's flying, and they stand up and they kind of do that arm clasp thing, kind of like shake. Then they sit back down and they tear chunks of meat off the board, and they start drinking and eating, and everybody's just cutting up and having a great time. You see next or behind those two guys, you see two other tabaxis who are completely naked, and they just, when they're done arm wrestling, they just come up behind them and then kind of drape their arms around them, and that whole grapes and kissy and all that typical stuff you would see in a brothel occurring at the table.
I toss another gold onto the stage.
Okay, Merrick, I'll get to your thing here in just a minute, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I sort of have an idea, but I might have to DM you on Discord, so if you want to flash to somebody else.
That's okay. Merrick, we're going to go to you. Go ahead and DM me if you'd like. Go ahead and roll... let's see. Roll stealth to see if you can go unnoticed as you disappear. I mean, there are literally hundreds of people in this bar.
Can I argue advantage because there's nobody paying real attention to me?
I mean, you are a lizard man amongst mostly humans, so I will roll against you just for
They're also naked tabaxi.
shits and giggles. Okay, you know what?
I'm only mostly naked.
I didn't roll high enough, so I will let you disappear. Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand to see if you can pull the coins without people noticing. Coins just lifting magically into the air by themselves.
Magic. Woo.
Wow, you're so fucking lucky, dude. Okay, you swipe 3 gold coins and 5 silver.
Didn't want to give me a platinum, huh?
No, Mr. Level 4.
I'll take what I can get.
Stealing from the working class. It's hilarious. Okay, so.
Not stealing.
Let me-
I'm procuring.
Procuring. Alright, I am reading, so if there's any banter you'd like to do, let me read.
I would like to toss another gold on the stage.
You throw the
Complaining
gold.
about spending on
I
the horses.
will intercept his gold.
No, you will not.
Deflect missiles.
Acrobatics check to grab the gold.
You might get your ass kicked for that here.
I'm invisible. They don't know. I
I'm
wouldn't doubt it.
specifically tossing the gold to the same area that the first tabaxi was in.
Alright, so, Joria. You are partying with the hardened criminals, friend. What are you guys doing? You trying to
Showing
do
off.
anything, or are you just showing off your hammer? What are you trying to do?
I'm a little drunk. I'm doing a one-finger handstand on the table. I'm trying to.
Roll athletics.
That's it. Athletics.
Acrobatics. You can pick one.
I'll do acrobatics. 20.
1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Switch fingers 1 and 2 and 1
Everyone
and 2.
loves me.
People are going crazy at this little girl with a giant ass warhammer doing finger push-ups, handstands on the damn table. And coins are starting to just fly onto the table that you're doing handstands on. Cling, clang, cling, clang, cling, cling, clang, cling.
Yay. How much? I don't have any money.
Hold on, I'll tell you. Let's see here. Where's my D10? There it is. You get 33 gold.
Take that. I shoot miracle look. Oh no,
Who's
I can't.
invisible?
You can't see
Yeah.
Mark.
But I'm kind of jealous. I'm gonna get in on that. But be invisible and no one will see me because I don't know how this works.
You're just walking around bumping into people and they're like, the hell was that?
They probably all think they're crazy. I'm
They-
just talking to them.
Ain't nobody there.
Ah,
I am the great Merrick Cathin.
they've all been visited by.
Been struck by. Smooth.
You've been... Oh, it's so bad. Alright, so
Forward this to Elroy or face your.
again, the name pops up and they don't see you, but everybody looks around like, what the fuck? Oh! The last time that you say that, somebody sweeps around with their hand and connects with your arm. And they kind of try to drag you into them. What do you do?
Flip away from it.
Okay.
Just-
Go ahead and roll a strength check to see if you can break the grapple.
Oh, they're attempting to grapple me. It's not just a swipe.
Yeah, they reached around to grab you.
Do you want a strength save or a strength check?
Save, please.
Yeah. Reverse grapple.
Are you gonna grapple them?
Yeah, why not? Fuck it. I just pin him to the ground invisibly.
Oh, I'm very scared for you guys.
We're about to get murderated.
By this point, I've switched
And
teams.
now the hobo
I'm part of
murders
the Bleeding
you.
Yeah,
Forge.
Jory is
I
gonna
mean,
kill all of us.
They might just think it's a fancy dance move as he flips onto his back.
He watches this guy gets picked up in the air and pile drived into the ground, and no one sees who does it. Like, this guy's like, oh, what? Oh, fuck me. Ugh."
I start whispering to the crowd nearby as I walk away, like, "Oh, he must have fallen. He's partying too hard. Ooh,
You got fucking lucky again.
get this man some water."
And everybody just starts laughing.
I hover over Joria's area as I'm jealous.
Nice. So, what you gonna do there, Gwyneth?
Okay. I am going to. Is there a restroom somewhere?
I mean, you could probably find a alley or a loo or something. If you
But can I
want.
get back inside? That's the only entrance and exit. Is the presumably
It's
or
the
covered
only
one.
it's the only public entrance and exit. Yes.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to turn to Dobrim and ask him politely if he'll hold all of my equipment, my robes, and my chainmail. So effectively, I'm just stripping down to my tidy whities. Absolutely. All right. So I'm going to leave my gear with him, and I'm going to go out half naked dwarf into the street and into the alley. And then do the thing that I told you.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to describe it.
Can you?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, roll me a what would be? What the hell would that be? It's disguise. It's.
There's no check as far as I know.
I know
unless you
there's.
want
I know there's no check, but just roll me a d20. A straight d20. Add your proficiency
proficiency from.
the other.
Should be +2 for level 4.
Far should be 2. Yeah.
Oh, that's a thing. I didn't know. Okay, I didn't really know what proficiency was. So with 2, that's 16.
16. Okay. So you guys, do you try to go outside? Well, I mean, Dobrim sees you, so it doesn't really matter. You go outside, disappear for a minute, and you guys watch as about 5.5 or 6 foot, about 5 foot tall, 5.5 foot tall, slender tabaxi female walks through the door. Those of you who are paying attention, some of you are, some of you aren't. Scantily clad, same postage stamp style bikini top, the high V bottoms with the thong in the back. Very pretty, like calico-like fur and markings. Pale green eyes. And she just slithers her way over to the head table, passing through the crowd, and you end up behind the gentleman who is sitting next to the female. So you can take it from there if you'd like.
I guess I'm gonna do as the rest of them do and wrap my arms around the guy and kind of just hang out there listening.
Okay. So basically, you just hear them talking about the food and the music and the boars and horrors and the good time that they're having, and they're just cutting up and telling jokes and telling old stories from different people that they've robbed in the past or jobs that they've done for the Bleeding Forge and things like that. And it's nothing like immediately relevant to what you're after, but from having talked to several layers of the group, so far, from the guys on the road to the guys in the Silverleaf to coming here. This is the first time that you feel like you're at least listening into someone's conversation that possibly means something within the syndicate itself. But here, amongst all of these people, they're not really talking about anything that's like earth-shattering.
All right. I guess it was post up here.
But
Anyone else has ideas?
they do feel important.
Right. The sash gives it away.
And as you're standing there, just kind of playing with the guy's hair and just kind of mimicking and following the things that the other tabaxis are doing. The one that you're playing with has a purple sash on his shoulder, and they're all on the right side. So there's blue. What did I say? Blue, green, and purple now, or was it blue, red, and purple? Blue. I think it's blue, green, and purple. I said so far. And the female that's sitting next to you has a red sash on her right shoulder.
Mm.
And they're just cutting up and having a good time. And as you're sitting there just kind of massaging and playing, roll a perception check for me, please.
7. Not a great night.
So they're not trying to hide it really very much at all, but the chick with the red sash definitely has her hand in the guy that you're you're messing with. She has her hand shoved in his crotch right now, underneath the table.
Got it.
That's nasty.
And they're just talking, like everybody's talking across the table, and she's just sitting there, hanging out.
I'd like to ask both of them if they'd like to find a room with such a young courtesan.
Roll a persuasion check.
14.
Having rolled a 13, he kind of leans back and looks up at you and catches those pretty green eyes, and he goes, "You'll give me just a little bit, and we'll take you up on your offer." And he goes back to drinking.
I'll tell them I'll go prep a room. Are there rooms here, or is it?
Yeah, absolutely, there are rooms here. He reaches into, he basically kind of reaches under his arm over here, and he pulls out a key, and he looks back up at you and hands it to you, and he says, "3rd floor, first room on the right."
I nod and walk away.
And they go back to drinking.
Okay. So I'd like to go back to Dobrim and take my gear back and wink at him. And then walk back outside into the
Okay.
re-dwarf up.
Okay.
And go back in.
Okay.
And I guess gather my drinking companion. Joria is probably too busy to get to, but just tell everyone that I've got a key to a room and we've got to set up camp.
Okay. So you collect everybody but Joria, as Joria is still kind of over by the head table with all these people hooting and hollering and having a good time and push-ups and gold, and she's a star.
I would like to note I'm still with Joria because
Okay.
I am there.
Oh, right, you did move over. Yeah.
So you have Sabros, Dobrum, and yourself.
Wait, where am I now?
Oh, wait a minute. You're at the...
Yeah, I'm at the titty bar.
Well, you're at the titty bar, but he could have made it to you because you're not next to the head table, next to the, you're kind of over here with the side dancers, and they're over here with the head table.
So I probably couldn't get their attention. I don't know where Mirik is.
You could get Saros' attention, but to get to Joria, you would have to go back close to the people you just talked to. Because they've kind of intermingled over towards that group. So you'd be risking pulling her out of there and amongst the people you just swashbuckled.
Well, they wouldn't know.
No, they technically wouldn't know. Possibly.
Hmm. Also really good at smelling. I guess if you guys want to go up to this third floor, we're gonna have a little chat with the man.
So, who is going to go with Gwyneth to the third floor? Okay, Dolbrum. Sabros, will you be pulled from your ways, or are you staying?
Reluctantly.
Okay. So, Joria and Merrick remain behind, is that correct?
I will go with him.
I mean, do I see them going?
Roll a perception check.
Perception.
For the record, I have no idea how I'm gonna do this. So I don't know if I even want everyone there. I'm not sure.
That's
15.
yeah, I mean you catch them as they just exit the room going up the steps.
Yeah, I'll follow because
Oh, where are you going? No, you're the no. Wait, no, stay, and
Gotta
more
go, guys.
gold. More gold gets thrown onto the table.
it's like, Nelson, you stay classy. Cedric, you take care of those teeth.
Oh, all right, fine. They're too hammered to really put up too much of a fight.
I will try to scoop up any of the money remaining on the floor, and I will follow her.
Okay, you get another 4 gold off the floor.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all make your way to the third floor. You finally all group together outside the door. Gwyneth, you put the key in the lock. The key opens the door. And as you step inside, everyone files in. And you go to close the door behind you. And that's where we're going to leave it for tonight. It's 2:30 a.m. for some folks. So, this episode, also known as Boars and Horrors, has come to a conclusion. Twitch and everybody watching, thank you so much for joining us here this evening for the third episode of The Breath of Silence. I hope you enjoyed it. We had some interesting times tonight, and we will pick it up next time in the room of the important man at the table.
I love all of you, and I'm going to animal handle Tabaxi in the next session.
And we will see what happens at this crazy-ass place.
Same bat channel, same bat time!
Ow, ow! Good night, everybody. Take care.